that book, I call them No Pay APA. You know what they've got in there? They have instructions for your planning department on how to take your property, rights and not pay you for them. How not to compensate you when they take your rights away. That's right. Regulatory takings all across the United States. There is no place that's any different. There are a few places that are way worse, but we are seeing it everywhere. Monitoring and controlling your well. You have a private well. Is it monitored yet by your government? If it's not, they will plan to do that. And I'm not just talking about putting a smart meter on your water. I'm talking about your private well. They are attempting, your governments are attempting, and in many cases doing this, putting monitors on your personal water well. You're looking at Yellowstone to Yukon. Think about that. A wild way. Wildways.org. Yellowstone to Yukon. This is a, what? This is a lot of land, right? This is so that your wildlife can get from one place to another. How about this? The wildways they go down the whole East Coast, they go across the bottom of the country, go up the West Coast, all the way up into Alaska, across the top of the country, between here and Canada, the wildways. Isn't that interesting? Do they own all that land? No, they don't. Are they going to buy all the land? Probably not. They want to regulate you so that you cannot continue to use your property. So there's 60 million roadless acres right now. 60 million roadless areas in the United States. 60 million roadless acres. So I want to tell you something that's really important. Because you're thinking to yourself, nobody's getting me off my rural property. I don't know what she's talking about. She's fear-mongering. Yeah. This is crap, right? I know you're thinking that. Okay, I'm not giving you crap. This is true. In my county, we have 1,384 miles of rural roads. About a year and a half ago, our county supervisor said, you know what, there's just not enough money to maintain these roads. We're going to have to only pave 150 miles of rural roads. And the rest of these roads are going to be turned to gravel. 1,230 miles of roads are going to be turned to gravel, pulverized and turned to gravel in Sonoma County. A rural county where we do agriculture in our county. You think that's going to have an impact on your property value? Think that's going to affect your ability to get to your property? Think that's going to have an effect on your ability to use your property? You know why? It's because the federal government, the federal funding system favors more urban populated areas when they are giving money for transportation. Besides that, talk about regulation. How about this? Misidentification of wetlands. I know you've heard of the Sacketts, that nice couple in Idaho, Priest Lake, Idaho. They bought a little piece of property, they paid like 23 grand for it. They wanted to build a little house on it. They got their permit, they bring in a bulldozer, they start bulldozing, and the EPA comes over and says, you got a wetland here. They said, what do you mean? We're not even on the river. We're not even on the lake. No, you have a wetland. They said, well, nobody told us. Well, you do. And if you don't bring the bulldozer back and put the land back exactly as it was before you started tearing it up, we're going to charge you $37,000 a day, the EPA. So, I know. And it went, so, the people, okay, the Sacketts said, hey, this is heavy. Now, most people would have just freaked out and run away, but they went and got legal assistance, and this went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. And just think about that. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency of the United States, appealed this all the way to the United States Supreme Court. And what happened there? The U.S. Supreme Court. Did they decide what a wetland was? No, it wasn't about that. What did they decide? They gave us the right. They said that we are entitled to a hearing to challenge the government's threats to fine us for building on our own land. Yeah, we got the right to challenge the EPA. That's what we got when the Sacketts went to the Supreme Court of the country. Now, as far as water goes, you think you own your water? You think you buy your land and you own to the bond? You own that water under your land. No, you don't. That is a common good. Now, ICLEI has a water campaign. They're rolling this out in Southeast Asia and Australia, and it's coming your way, and here it is. It is that water has to be managed as a finite economic resource. Charges for water have to reflect the true value of the water resources. That means it's the current and future cost of water delivery. You're going to see water bills going higher and higher and higher. In my county, they've gone up 9% per year for the last 5 years. 9% per year. Water delivery is going higher and higher and higher. And that is while we are conserving. Because they say, hey, we still have these fixed costs. Yes, you're conserving, but we need more money. So this is what's happening. You're looking at moving people out of the wildlands. Look at the Northeast Landscapes. That's Regional Plan Association in America 2050. Northeast Landscapes. You're going to see that. They're creating regionalization. They're giving grants to new nonprofit groups. New nonprofit groups are being partnered with existing nonprofit groups so they can get experience in how to create more and more restrictions, regulations, because they go and they beat the drum for smart growth and for more restrictions on your land use. So, okay, here's the bottom line. Agenda 21 is a plan to produce social equity by impoverishing populations and creating total dependence on government. It uses the cover of environmentalism to create the rigid control of a totalitarian state, and it is in progress right now. This is what it looks like. We're in the U.S., we think it can't happen here. This is what it looks like. You're not going to bring guns down the street. They don't have to. This is what it looks like. It's an abuse of our trust. It's hijacking the environmental movement. The USA Patriot Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, inventory and control. You know about the 1,000,000 acre, no, that can't be right. It's got to be 1,000,000 square feet. The 1,000,000 square foot building in Utah that's going to be the super fusion center that's going to have all of your information, all your records. It's being built right now. Did you know that the FBI right now does not need a warrant to get your hotel records, your bank records, your internet records, and your phone records? This is real. You know what? More things are going to be crimes because the ultimate public-private partnership, that's where you, the public, provide financing and take the risk away from the private individual who is making the profit. Okay? The ultimate public-private partnership, prisons. Privately owned prisons. What do they need? And we've got those all over the U.S., right? What do they need? What's a privately owned? What's a prison need? Inmates. Prisoners. How do you get more prisoners? You make more things crimes. You growing tomatoes? That sounds like a non-native plant to me. More things crimes. Smoke in your apartment? The town right next to me, Sebastopol, and my own county, Sonoma County, are making it against the law to smoke in your own apartment. Like that? More things are becoming crimes. You will find that you are breaking laws that you don't even know exist. And they will be selectively enforced. This is part of this plan. All totalitarian states share the same characteristics. Total control of property and means of production. Total information, surveillance, loss of free speech, excuse me, restricted movement. Now they also share the same philosophy, and that's that it's all for the common good. Totalitarian states. The individual is selfish. It's all for the common good. They also share the concept of the Spartan present. You've got to conserve. You've got to restrict. There's not enough water. There's not enough energy. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. That's the Spartan present. But they also share the vision of the glorious future. That utopia. It's going to be so great. Oh, it's going to be fabulous. We're all going to be downstairs drinking coffee in the downstairs coffee shop and riding our bikes. It's never going to rain or snow no matter where we live. The skies are always going to be blue. There goes the train. High-speed trains are the #1 building block of mega regions. They're designed to fail. They're designed to suck your transportation dollars and sink you economically. You know, in California, yeah, we got a high-speed train, line that's supposed to be coming. It's supposed to be coming 2025, 2033, 2050. Yeah, right. The money is just pouring into it. They finally decided they're going to build a little piece of it, right? They're going to go from Fresno to Bakersfield. Now, for those of you who are not laughing, I'll tell you it's from nowhere to nowhere. But it's flat. Easy. So, that's what they share, okay? Common good, Spartan present, glorious future, and terror. The war on terror is a war on you. And I know you know that. You flown lately? I always do the pat down. I refuse to go do the hokey pokey for them, do their little thing. Right? I didn't do anything, but I'll get patted down. So I'm standing there. I have to go a half an hour early to the airport because of what I do. I stand there, I'm looking at her, and I say, "So is this all you could think of to do for a living?" And then I say, "So, have you asked yourself if there's anything you're not willing to do for the money? Is there anything that you think you won't do that they tell you to do? Have you asked yourself yet what it is that you won't do?" Then when they get all the way down there, when she gets down there, I say, "I'm a lesbian." Yeah, that's when they keep me in the back for another 20 minutes. So, this is it. Communism, fascism, Nazism. It's all for the fatherland, right? It's all for the common good, as defined by your rulers. So, who's doing it to you? Don't think that I'm going to let you get out of here without knowing what you can do about it. Because I know you're feeling lousy. I hope you are. You are part of a huge movement to stop this. Now, who's doing it to you? You need to know who's doing it to you. Here it is. Removing the roadblocks, how to make sustainable development happen now. This is Bank of America, American Bar Association. Doesn't that look good? Can't wait to move into that, huh? Ooh, boy, that looks good. You'd think they would have thought a little bit before they did that. How about this one? On Common Good, National Association of Realtors. Smart growth. Yeah, love it. Okay, how about this one? Hey, you don't know you're in a war, but I'll tell you what, the other side knows really well. This is the American Planning Association that has just put out a 12-week-long boot camp, communications boot camp for planners. They said, yeah, come on in. We want to re-propagandize you. We want to give you the new jargon. We don't want to call it smart growth anymore. We're going to call it quality growth. We're going to tell people that if you want economic recovery and jobs, you need planners and plans. That's what they're telling you. This is a piece of their little deal that I got a hold of. Their key strategy, inoculate elected officials. If you're an elected official, I hope you're going to be really angry about this, because what do? They want to cultivate influentials. They want to re-propagandize government officials. They want to tell them how great it is that we have planners. Now, am I against planning? No. I plan every time I leave the house. I plan every time I get up. Everyone plans. Regional planning is important because you don't want your road to end at the end of your county, do you? Some things we need planning for. But this is social engineering. That's what we're talking about here. So what's another thing they tell you? They say reframe planning in economic terms, conduct aggressive outreach, and have a game plan for the opposition. You know what their game plan looks like? They smear you. They shame you. They put articles in the newspaper